Hello, people of YouTube, caught in the nest and interwebs. I look awful, and I've been unwell, and that's about as far as I'm willing to go with it. So I'm making this video to distract myself. If anybody's got a problem with me being dirty when I've been unwell, it's not my problem. You know, if YouTube lets me use this channel, I'm grateful for it. It's pretty cool I can do it. Gives me a distraction from being unwell. So, I figure I'd make this video to see if we can get inside this knife. So ever since I got this thing, I've been curious what's in the thing. So, considering it was cheap. Oh, this is steel, by the way. I'm sure it's stainless steel, but considering it was cheap, I'm guessing it has a welded tang. Considering it was cheap, but I want to see if I can get it off. Okay, so usually these things, they don't take a whole lot to get them off. I don't want to use a pair of vice grips, but it is so tight. But usually they're easy to get off. Hold on a second. Usually they're really easy to get off. So what I'm going to do is, this is probably not going to protect it very well, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to wrap it with quite a bit of electrical tape. Like, I'm not going to clamp down on it with vice grips. I'm just going to get it tight enough to where it can grab it. So, of course, I want to wrap it the direction where it'll pull with the tape if I'm going to be cranking with it. I'm going to put on there liberally because it's probably more than enough. Let's see if we can find out what's under this tang. Hello there. I got lockjaw. So let's see. Try to do this without messing this thing up. I think it's coming off. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want it to dig into the metal, so I don't want to push it too far. Let's see. Okay, I'll just grab it from a different position. It was starting to look like it was going to break through the electrical tape, so I think this time I will clamp it. I'll just be very careful how I clamp it. Yeah, this time I'll clamp it, but I'll be more careful. Oh, that didn't feel good. Yeah, that's not a good place to clamp it. Looks like there's no good place to clamp it. We can... Come on. It don't want to come off. I'm not tearing the metal up to find out. So it doesn't want to come off. So should I upload this video to YouTube looking like I crawled through a sewer pipe from a Kentucky Fried Chicken fast food restaurant? Should I upload this video? Considering I couldn't get the pommel off this thing to see what kind of tang it has. I think I should, because I've just proven with a pair of vice grips, mind you, trying not to destroy the metal on the pommel. I did try to get the pommel unscrewed and it will not come off. So a pair of vice grips, you know, it is wrapped with something to protect it, but if a pair of vice grips clamp down on that stuff wrapped around and protect it, can't turn it, you know, I highly, highly doubt anybody could do it by hand. You know, maybe if you had some kind of epoxy dissolving solvent, you could get it loose, but that thing's on there solid. And it's steel, you know? So, you know, this thing's handmade, and yeah, the grinds are a little bit wonky in some places, but considering it's handmade, it's a pretty little knife for being a handmade knife that's made this way. And it's also solid. You see that? I could not get that unscrewed. Which tells me they cranked it down where it was never meant to be removed. So, and I'm sure they use plenty. You know, using I think they call it G-Flex epoxy, the kind used for knife tangs, the best kind you can get. I think they might have used G-Flex epoxy on this. Cause this is, I mean, it's solid as a rock. Even the tang doesn't come loose. It's solid as a rock. So yeah, I'll give you guys a link to this thing on Scamazon. I already have a video up about it. But it really is an impressive knife. Now keep in mind, from person to person, considering, like, look at this. Keep in mind, from person to person depends upon how they grind it and stuff. So, if you get one that's terribly ground and there's something wrong with it, you better make sure you can return it to Amazon. But the one I got, even though it's got a slightly uneven grind, I really don't care. Because the edge is perfectly straight, you know. It's got perfectly straight to the tip, you know. It doesn't have a real knife balance to it, but considering what it is, who really cares? You know, it's just a cool little knife. I showed it to my sister. She said, yeah, it's a cute little dagger. I don't know if I call a dagger cute, but yeah. But it is very solid. And usually something this cheap, you're going to get brass or aluminum. You're not going to get steel, you know. You're going to get brass or aluminum. You know, this is all, it's all steel. Even this part up here, it's steel. Probably stainless steel, some kind of inexpensive stainless, but it's still steel, you know. And the blade has a nice spring steel temper to it. I did say that I would give you guys a link to this thing. Now, I want to show you it's not junk, okay? So, I got this here. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to slap the side into it, so get it away from my foot. I don't think it's going to come loose, but I just want to show you it's not junk. Try the other side. Try the blade. Try the blade again. Let's try. Blade, flat side, blade, flat side, blade, flat side. Tearing my hammer up. Alright, so look at this. My mess up a desk. Oh, let's get this crap out of the way. I've not been doing too well lately. So, Judge me if you must, but I really don't care. So, let's see. So, is it still straight? Let's see, is it still straight? Camera's a piece of junk. You won't be able to tell because the camera's a piece of junk. There we go. It's a little bit better. Still straight. Looking from the pommel down the blade, still straight. Still straight. You know, there's nothing here. Let's see. If only the maker of this, selling through the Amazon store, if only the maker would give it a real knife balance, I think they're onto something here. So, I mean, it's made well. It's just doesn't have a real knife balance. But yeah, I'll say it again. I'll leave a link to this thing on Amazon if you want to get yourself one. But do keep in mind that if you get one, like I said, that's not ground as nicely as this one, I consider this nicely done. I mean, this was 20-something bucks, wasn't it? I consider this nicely done. That may be a little bit uneven, but I really don't care. Because if you look really close at it, it looks like they made sure the end of the edge still ended at the exact same spot as the other side, even though it was uneven grind. You know, looks like they cared to keep the blade the same length on both sides, even though it's current. That's not why I don't care. It's that it just doesn't matter to me. Imagine when they didn't have power tools and stuff, like a blacksmith. If they sold something like this to, you know, just the average person, you know, they probably pay quite a bit for it, you know? Even if it looked worse than this, I bet you they pay more for it. You know, hope you all have a good rest of the day or night where you live. Take care of yourselves, and Spock says long live and prosper. I've not been doing too well. End of video.